Hello, I'm Melissa, and today we have a nice long shipping video on this May 12th, 2025. Welcome in. I sell mostly part-time on eBay, but make a full-time living as a reseller. I do some consulting work with eBay, for eBay, freelance with eBay. Not eBay doesn't pay me, other people pay me. And I have a shipping business, bloomingclothing.com. So we are going to get started by opening up my shipping website. We've got 2 orders. Actually, I have 3, but one just came in, so I haven't yet pulled it. So we're going to go 2 website orders today and then hop onto eBay. And I think I have 11-ish items on eBay. It was pouring for the last 3 days. And so I had to wait. My office is in my lanai. We moved it over, I don't know, maybe within the last 3 or 4 months. And I don't think I've filmed in like the pouring Florida summer thunderstormy weather. Like I've worked around it without realizing I've been working around it. But because it's been so rainy and overcast, I need to insulate better. It's just been like, it sounds like I live in a metal roof. Like my walls are made of metal and my ceiling is made of metal and everything is metal. It's just so overwhelmingly loud. If you don't know, if this is the first video you've ever seen of mine, welcome, first of all. I also do YouTube part-time. My mom does YouTube mostly full-time. I'm sure you know her. She is Karen from Lavender Clothesline. If you're coming over from her channel, thank you. She lives, she moved to Florida about 2 months ago. So that's where I am. My husband and I have been in Florida for over 10 years now. And yesterday was Mother's Day and we saw each other most of the day. We hung out most of the day. These videos are meant to be long and kind of relaxing, boring. I show you how I ship, not with the computer screen. It's not going to be a screen sharing Zoom kind of thing. It's not a tutorial. It's just you having me on in the background, hopefully to rest or sleep. I try to tone down in editing any of the loud noises, any of the packing tape, so aggressively loud sometimes. Okay, we are on my website and I use Wix, which is not sponsored. Nobody sponsors me. And I have some sales through Wix, my website, and then I pulled up Pirate Ship, which is a third-party shipping company that I use. I probably could ship through Wix. I don't know how. It's just easier this way. So the first order is a large order. I have mystery reseller packs for $95. Don't worry, everything else on my website is like $16, $18, including shipping. Everything includes shipping to like $30, $40, but this is like a giant bundle I put together after being asked, and I've probably sold maybe a dozen or so of them. So this is headed to Jennifer. Hi, Jennifer. She lives in Pennsylvania, not too far from where I used to live. I won't give out her location. And this package has a ton of items. Tissue papers, all Jilson Roberts. My husband folds these for me and he folded some of them inside out. So like the lemon print is so vibrant on the inside, but on the outside it's very matte. Open it up. I've been leaving notes for some people who order this, like, I'm so sorry, some of these are folded. I don't know why he must not have realized it, obviously. One of my favorites, we have the Jilson Roberts 2025. Their holiday catalog came out maybe a month ago and I haven't reviewed it yet. I've kept myself from looking at any of the prints, but this is from their everyday collection, the butterflies. Last year's butterflies, year before butterflies, completely different butterflies. This, you can see the gold is shimmery and shiny. I love the blues. This would make such a pretty dress. Not for a wedding because the background has like a pearl white color, but anyway, here is, I have 2 prints that are similar. And like from afar, you'd be like, oh, those are the same prints. But when you get up close, they're not. This one has like a gold dot sketchy pattern in the background. And you can really see those yellow and blues and kind of blush pinks. And then the other one also has gold, but in like a wheat and leaf motif. This one also has yellows and blues and pinks, but also some reds and some butterflies. Jilson Roberts with the hidden butterflies. Oh, I didn't even notice the other butterflies. They're in yellow and pink. And then I love this one. I think this one is called Bloomin' or Bloomin' Floral or something. They've had it for a few years. Floral collage. It has no metallics, but it's so pretty on a big scale. These are big pieces. This is a half sheet here. Again, with the inside out folding. This is the Disco Dots. I really like this one. It's more, and I'm gonna say this and you can take it however, I don't mean it this way, more like gender exclusive. You could use this on anybody's. You could use any paper on anybody's, let's be fair. If somebody who identified as male got this paper, they're not going to leave you a negative review, but this is a little bit more like just geometric. Be great for birthday parties. It almost looks like sliced cake. Again, an inside out print. And he folds these usually after I've gone to bed when I get the orders in. It's the baby quilt or quilt pattern. Oh, this one has my heart. More butterflies because she ordered so much. I didn't want to bring fall prints in because it is only May. I had to look again. Another collage, and then more lemons. I could have put like more browns and autumny prints, but we wanted to keep it upbeat in summer. Then just free bonuses. Everybody gets free bonuses in every order, as you know. Some smaller poly bags. These are a 7.5 by 10.5, which is an unusual size. But for smaller items, like jewelry, or I was gonna say I had a wallet somewhere. I don't know, like wallets would be great. And then even smaller, I think these are 6 by 8s, so you can see the size difference. And there's a ton of different prints here. Some whales, some green floral, some suns, and lemon prints. So those weren't included. It just says mystery items. So I always include just a few of the smaller ones. Some plastic bags, which I always use, zippered plastic bags. These are a great size. They're 12 by 15. And then 100 of my cards, and you'll see these throughout today's program. I custom design them through Vistaprint. I am never offended if you just go through Vistaprint and design your own or use their designs. But that is 100 of them. Oh, a wallet or coin pouch maybe. I'm not exactly sure. I'm noticing I have a little bit of paint underneath my fingernails. I have been helping one of my neighbors paint the outside of their house. They are paying me. So when I say helping, I don't mean truly donating my time. Something fell. Okay. This also goes along with the $95. These are poly mailers. I'm not going to pull all of these out because there is, I think 100 and I don't know. Roll of stickers. These just say thank you. There's probably about maybe 100, 150 there. You're seeing me pull ribbons, of course. Some fun ribbons. Oh, I forgot to pull ribbons for today. I mean, I have a couple. I have a couple, but not like all the fun ones, I'm noticing. Few goodies for her. And then a lot of, there's 30 of the big ones. And then I think 70 or 100 of the regular size. Most people use these for clothing, and they could fit quite a bit, honestly. It's probably like a Tyvek USPS mailer size. These are 13 by 10 by 13. So there are so many prints in here. I always put the minimum amount of prints I do on the website, but because I have so many prints right now, and always, let's be honest, there might be, I mean, like 30 or 40 different prints, and I buy some really high quality. This one, let's pull this one out. I've done this once before. These are from different companies. You are a different company. You are a different company. I think that's enough to test for now. I don't see any really like thin ones. I used to have one or two in here. I think that's the same company. Just because poly mailers go by mil, which is like weight. And so these are all the same size, but not the same weight. Put the bigger ones back in, the drawstring bags back in. This person is extra surprise eBay tape. And the ribbons back in. And the $95 is shipped to anywhere in the US or US territories. Hi, I have a jewelry scale. Somewhere I have a jewelry scale. This is only going to make sense if I can weigh this. And that's the upper bag. Now, I'm going to do it on my regular scale first. And if it is, this is one of the thinner ones. This is a non-branded. This would be like still very, very heavy duty bag. 0.3 ounces. This is from Pretty Package Store. I think the other one was just Amazon or something like this. And their quality is one of the highest in my mind. 0.5. This is Happy Pack, another really good quality. And most of them are from the better. This is also 0.5. And then this one doesn't have a brand. It feels a little bit more heavy duty than the first one. 0.3. I could go jewelry scale and really get us down to how many grams it is, but you get the idea. I send most of the higher quality mailers and then just a few, so you get an idea of different brands across the board. Throw those back in there for Jennifer. She has been a customer for years and years and years. When I started Patreon, which I no longer do, I had a subscription service of quarterly, monthly, maybe monthly. Yikes. Monthly subscription for tissue papers and, let's make sure those are closed, and poly mailers and all of the fun things themed every month. Some themes we had were seasonal, some were around like fruit or jewelry or just like a generic, I was gonna say cars, but we never had a cars theme. And she subscribed, she was one of my first subscribers. This is just under 7 pounds. So now I hop over, I copy her address, and I hop over and put that into Pirate Ship. And then I copy her email and put that over to Pirate Ship. She's already in my Pirate Ship, again, years and years, but I want to make sure she didn't move across the street or something. Most repeat customers I remember, especially, I mean, like I said, she's been with me for a very long time. Thank you. And let's get some rates on Pirate Ship for this 7-pound bag. Priority mail is $9.88, and ground mail, which is a little bit slower, it is saying it'll get there around the same time, is $9.61. So slightly cheaper, but we are going to go priority. Priority is insured. So for, what was that? I don't know, I already forgot. 19 cents? We're gonna bump up to priority mail. And I am using a generic Rollo as my label printer, which I bought from Temu last year. My big Temu experience. I was in bed healing from surgery and downloaded Temu and then bought all of the things and returned some of them. But this one stuck with me. And it is great. And it was like $40 something. And on Amazon, this brand is about like $50 to $60. It is Yinleader, Yinleader. I probably have it at my Amazon storefront. If you wanted to go through me, don't feel like you have to. Okay. For security, we are going to use some tape, and I will mute this part and come back to you once it's all taped so I don't wake anybody up who's resting. We are taped. The red ruined the packaging. Oh, we are back. The red ruined the pastel packaging, but I had red tape here. I didn't want to have to go get like blue tape. I'm not keen on red if you didn't know. Thank you, Jennifer. The next website package is from, oh, let me copy the tracking number. So she'll get an email, but also I want to put it on my website so my website knows not to show me this order again and it shows it shipped. Rather than saying it's inactive, I'd probably remember that I shipped it, but you never know what life will throw at you. Okay, next package is just poly mailers, $31, and this is headed to Barbara. Hi, Barb. And these were 140 poly mailers, all different, and then a few extra little goodies. And this is going to Ohio. So there's 100. Oh, this bag ripped. Who made you? You pack and ship. This is a heavy package, and I would have put some tape over it, but we do have a little tear here. 100 of the 10 by 13, 10 of the smaller size, at least 10, at least 100. I throw some extras in just in case you get a defective one. You never know. And then 30 of the bigger ones. And tape time. There we are. I'm going to say maybe 4 or 5 pounds. 5.6. Oh, I forgot to copy her address. It'd be helpful if we had an address here. Just send it out into the universe and hope she gets it. That's not going to work. I had 19, 20, 22, something like that, packages go missing. A USPS substitute worker picked them up and never scanned any of them in, and none of them showed up. And to this day, I wonder, where did those all go? Because it took a lot of figuring out to even realize it was a substitute, and they got the GPS coordinates off of the truck and realized he was in the community, and it was a whole thing years and years ago. Now it's a little better. Let's just put the addresses. They were shipped through eBay, but I had no, because they weren't shipped. They weren't scanned, so they just all disappeared, and I had to refund hundreds and hundreds of dollars. So, same prices, even though this one is slightly less weight. We are at $9.88 for priority and $9.61 for ground advantage cubic. Now, if I wanted to drop this off at UPS, and UPS is miles and miles away and through beach traffic, that takes a very long time, I would save about $1.50, but that is not happening because USPS, the post office, comes to my front door, and I have not had a problem since that one time. Okay, and copy the tracking. Thank you, Barb. Where'd my tracking go? I must have clicked off of the page. Log back into Pirate Ship and copy to clipboard and add tracking. And I did sell one more of those last poly mailer lots. And I'll let you know who it's going to, and pretend I shipped it on camera for her. Frank, for him. Please be sure to include patchwork quilt, lemons. Oh, it's tissue paper. Lemons and all the new floral. You got it. That would have been, that's the picture anyway. We are good to go there. Okay, now we are done with website orders, or pretend we are. Sorry to Frank. I could go pull your order, but I will do it probably off camera. We are going to get a drink because I am wearing a sweater in Florida in May. I do have my air condition set at 75 in here, actually. We're going to turn that down slightly. It's just my lanai, so it's not the whole house. Okay. Oh, we just got an order. Oh, yay, of the hangers. Hello, Melissa, I'm a viewer of your YouTube channel. This won't make sense because I'm not going to be able to show the hangers. Maybe I will at the end. I haven't pulled them. Actually, I just had 3 more orders. I'm a viewer from your YouTube channel and love all your videos. Oh no, I'm going to have to. I'm going to have to pull them for you. Casey, I think. Longtime watcher of my mom's channel, and she was glad I had some opportunities to spend quality time with her. Oh, I'll make sure to send her some cards. She likes the cards. And she ordered 12 space age hangers. They are so cool. I have them through that door where I keep all of my inventory. Oh, and okay, so she has some rings too. I want to go in order here. And by order, I mean not order, but order that makes sense to me. Some items have to go out within the next day or two, and others I have a 3-day handling time, don't have to. This pillowcase came out of a home which was a high-end home. It does have a few little markings and a thread, but overall is in pretty okay condition. And it has a metal zipper. It's a 16 by 16 inch size. Look at even the inside, the other side is cool. It's like a rug tapestry. And this is headed to Kimberly. Kimberly has purchased from me before. Hi. Just want to make sure. Oh, I'm glad I checked. She did purchase another item. I have a few people that purchase multiple items. Usually I check, but occasionally I forget. So we will put this in plastic. I'm sure she'll wash it when she gets it, but you never know. So this came out of a house that was somebody's third house. They had passed away, and one of their relatives inherited the house. It was here in my community, and my name has gotten around that I help people consign items, clean out houses, some property management type things, just small things, paint their house. And so they called me, and I realized quickly how wonderful the house was. You might have seen it on my mom's channel, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. How satisfying is that? So good. I do have regular bubble wrap, but first I'm going to wrap this a few times. Stuff the middle here. Oh, did you see what that was? It was like a fancy napkin towel holder. So I have a lot of their items now and sold a lot on Facebook Marketplace and donated a lot of items. And I still have 2 small racks, a double rack of clothing to sell. But because I've been so involved in some volunteer work and then the painting, and then Mother's Day was yesterday, as I mentioned, and I had a kind of secret project for my mom, which she found out about on Mother's Day, so it's not secret anymore. That took a long time. And last month I had bronchitis for the first time ever. And they say the recovery of that was like 1 to 2. There's 2 different kinds of bronchitis. I would love to tell you what kind I have. It was like just a one-time acute bronchitis. It's not like bronchitis forever. I don't know what they call that. That other kind, or my kind. But I had one-time bronchitis, and I was in the hospital because my oxygen was struggling. So that took me out for like 3 weeks, 4 weeks to really heal, but it was a rough few weeks. That was breathing treatments and inhaler crazy. Now we get to do the fun part. I think it's the fun part. Oh, I don't think I included this floral. Maybe this is in the autumn prints. Oh, also in the autumn prints that you haven't seen is the black and white gingham with the silver stripe, the gold plaid. Do I have the gold? I don't. I think you've seen the rest of these. Don't worry, I have more. I have so much more. We have a retired print that I only have a little bit left. The oranges. This retired years and years and years ago. It is a tie. Also retired. I have all of my fun prints, like just a few pieces left. And then this one also got folded inside out and is retired. It is a cat print. So I do have more tissue papers than that. A lot of tissue paper. So the big question is, what shall we, I already know. Can you guess? Can you guess which one I'm going to use? I'm using the quilt. The inside out quilts. So my husband folds these in packs of 5, so I can grab them. So here it is. It's pastel. So pretty. So spring summery. I'm gonna cut this like 2/3. And then save the rest. We're gonna put, I was gonna say the rug. Maybe that one won't fit. Maybe that one needs more than 2/3. Let's see if any of these fit. I had it inside out. To be fair, it is easy with that print. I will be excited to get back to listing some clothing and photographing clothing. My dress form has been on vacation for quite some time. Even as I was healing from bronchitis, probably not the first week, but the second and third weeks healing, I was at least taking photos and laying down and listing. So clothing is a little hard to do that. Hard goods, easier. I pulled red, pink, and orange ribbon, and then for some reason that's all. So we are going to go with an orange raffia. It's like a tangerine, a clementine. It's a bright color. And I think it'll match very nicely. The bottoms of my scissors must be sticky because this just stuck to them. Do I going to tie this slightly off center. That way the center of this can have the fun, more fun items. Come on, so good. So we will do, I pulled all of the cards, most of the cards. The card that says, you are enough, you are so enough, it is unbelievable how enough you are. And there's that card, and the back says, I am enough, you are enough. And then we will grab, let's do the butterfly card, it's purple. Oh, this one's better. On this package, we will do kindness is free, sprinkle that stuff around like confetti. This one has a little, it is marred. It has like a little mark on the top. Sorry, card. You're gonna have to be kindness is free in the garbage. And you can see the clouds are kind of like a puffier, shinier material. And the back is blank, so you could write like thanks, but I just leave them alone. And we will do an eye mask. What I like about the masks is I go to see a lot of different doctors and got my eyes checked, spot on still from last year, and they are good. And I bring those to like different offices and stuff. So even if you don't use those, you could pass them along to somebody. They're pass-alongable. Let's do the other one. I was gonna do lemons, but I think this is a better fit. And this one has metallic to it. My husband is going to get our oil changed. He is on the way. And our tires checked because we had a tire sensor come on. It's not flat, it just seems to be very slowly leaking air, so he says. And he's done all of the things, but I guess they take it off and submerge it somehow, and then if it bubbles, I don't know what they do with that. I didn't listen very well. I'm sure he told me all of the steps, and I thought, I'm never going to have to take this tire off and submerge it into some kind of liquid bath. I mean, maybe I would. So at that point, maybe I'll just Google it. Never know. And this will also match the orange. Oh, that's gonna look so pretty together. This one kind of has the same colors, but they're a little bit of a brighter tone. So that one's a true pastel, and this one's like a mid-tone orange and yellow. So you can see they do kind of match, or at least coordinate. Very pretty. Just stepped on bubble wrap. Okay, so let's do, I already pulled the ones that, well, that one will kind of match. Oh, this one's very nice. We are going to do a matte one with a glitter metallic maybe. It says we are like seashells upon a beach, beautiful and unique, each with its own story to tell. Let's see, there you can see the metallic. On the back says, you are enough, you are so enough, with seashells. And then the secondary one, since I'm standing up and now you can see my sweatpants, the day you plant the seed is not the day you eat the fruit. That would be a very fast growing fruit. And then on the bottom it says you are enough. And then on the back it says hi. Little pineapple. I have cards somewhere, like postcard sized cards that say hi with the same pineapple. Okay, well now that we've spent an hour on this packet, it would probably fit in a 10 by 13, but I'm going to use a 12 by 15 and a half. 12 by 15. You've already seen this, which is why I'm hesitant, but it kind of goes with the pastels and summery themes. So shake, shake. Let's make sure she didn't purchase more items. Okay, Kimberly, that. Then Nancy, Nat, Kimberly, Riley, Diane, Jean, Camille, Mindy, Holly, Jay, looks like Jack or Jackie maybe, and Case or Casey. I'm guessing Casey is the correct pronunciation. Correct me if I'm wrong. Okay, so she has two. She paid separately for shipping. We just created a new word there. It doesn't make any sense, that word. Shh. If you pull it back on itself, it's better. She paid separately for shipping, so we will refund her for the second shipping or anything over this. Because this is now, it would have been under £1 each, but now it is between £1 and £2. So for the pillowcase, she paid $16.99 minus 20%. And for the napkin towel holder, which is really cool and kind of like Hollywood Regency-esque, she paid $31.99 minus 20%. And then shipping, she paid $6.99 for the pillow and $7.91. It's a very odd amount. I must have used calculated shipping, which is something I normally don't do. Must have just defaulted for that. So let's see what shipping is. And £2. The dimensions go by, like, if it's really, really tiny and it's like 2 by 2 by 2, it might be less cost. Less money than like a 10 by 13 or a 12 by 15, but unless it's over a cubic foot, like 12 by 12 by 12. So if you've got like an 18-inch box and it's big and deep and all of the things, then you're looking at more money. But for right now, my dimensions, some people asked, or at least one person I remember asked how to calculate dimensions and why I don't measure every package. It's because most of my packages ship at the same rate between like that, like 3 by 3 by 3, like tiny package amount and big package amount. They're mostly just middle of the road, 12 by 12 by 4, whatever I put in here, 12 by 12 by 3 or 15 by 12 by 6, it's all going to be the same amount. So I just kind of leave those alone. And then the weight I do weigh, which you see. So it is $6.53 for both of these things. So the pillow cover shipping covered it. And this is headed to her USPS ground. Sure, I'll close all the tabs and print. Didn't even click anything. Sometimes I click the wrong thing and the screen goes away, and this time it was just like, nope. Thank you, Kim. And you're only a few states north of me. You are in North Carolina, so I will be shipping this today. And you should get it probably by Thursday, I would imagine. Who knows with the USPS or any shipping. But it's Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, North Carolina. So let's copy the tracking number. There is a copy here on eBay, and it's not clickable. All it does is copy, but somebody in the coding, computer engineering coding section forgot to make the link clickable. So just know if you're clicking it, nothing happens. You can highlight the word like every other word, but if I click her name, nothing happens. It's not clickable. It's supposed to be clickable. They underlined it, which, good job. Still not clickable. So you literally have to highlight and then go paste it in, which is fine. I can do that. I'm not above doing that. But we will put it into the napkin holder. What did I call this? Bathroom napkin holder, gold, towel, vintage, scroll. Oh, I did use Hollywood Regency. Okay, ad tracking. That is clickable, thankfully. And you can paste that in. Save and continue. And then I will refund her. Send refund. It's a little bit easier to do from your, how much did you do? $7.91. I better check. I better check her order, because it's saying $7.91, but that also might be to me because I clicked on the item. So I'm going to go under shipping labels on the left-hand column. No, I'm not, because it's not showing up under shipping labels. Where did you go? Are you still in the list? No. Okay, we will go under the pillow. I can't do that either. Okay, let's go back to the actual listing and order details. There it is. Okay. How much did she pay for shipping? $8.36 for the napkin holder. It is a different amount because she does live in a slightly different region of the US. So when I clicked into it originally, it was showing the cost to ship it to me, which I caught, but just barely. And so I owe her that amount. So let's go back and refund, which is easier to do from my phone, like I said, because once you put the tracking number there, everything changes. More actions. Let's see. It is under more actions. Okay. Send refund. Here we go. And next. And now you have to pick out a reason, and I just put shipping discount. And we are done with that order. Next order. Cole Haan shoes for Nancy, who I recognize. Just want to make sure she doesn't have any other items. Cole Haan shoes. I have a giant pile of shoes that sold. And that's probably because I listed a lot of shoes a few weeks ago. So they've been selling. And most of the women's shoes are between like a 6.5 and 7.5. And these are 7. They are Cole Haan. They are stunning. Again, if this woman would have been my size, I would have kept a lot of her shoes because they are classic. They're stunning, stunning shoes. A little bit of wear on the toe, but I mean, just gorgeous. And they sold for $49.99 minus the sale, which was probably 20% off. That's usually what I do. This. I was thinking, because this is so heavy. I have to decide whether to throw that out or keep that and use it. Not sure how to use it at a different date. So she lives in Carolina, North Carolina. I just combined the states as well. And she paid $9.99 for shipping. Let's put this. I want to make sure it fits in this bag. If not, we need a bigger bag. Ooh, we are so close. We're not going to get there though. So I am going to pause, get bigger bags, which I don't keep right here. I should keep them right there, actually. I don't. And then I'll pull the hangers too. That way we could do the hangers. I'll be back. I am back. I don't like these bags as much because they don't zipper perfectly and they're a little harsher of a plastic. They don't sound as nice. Okay, now that I have a giant bag, we will wrap this. Nope. Sorry, plaid. I've got butterflies. The shoe collection that came out of the house was incredible. Some of them I had to toss. There were New Balances there. I don't know when New Balance started. I should probably Google it. I want to say they're from like the 70s, 80s. They looked almost new, but then the soles like disintegrated, which happens sometimes with rubber. Latex? I don't know. I felt so bad because they looked brand new. The leather looked perfect. And I thought, oh, maybe a collector wants these. But I would have had to really, I mean, you would have had to put in the listing that they needed all new soles or taken them to a cobbler or been used as an art project. I don't know. Now my brain needs to Google when New Balance are from, of course. We all saw that coming. New Balance history. I really, oh, 1906. 1906. Wow. Well, they were from not 1906. They were definitely from like 70s, 80s. It had the box. It was so cool. And again, the stuff that came out of this house, I was overwhelmed. Like any other day, I'd be like, well, why don't you sell the box? Because I had $300 nightgowns and other things. And it was so much stuff. But by the time I would have gotten to the box, it would have been 100 years later. So we are going to do the butterfly one, which says, stop being so hard on yourself. The world is already hard enough. And for those of you that know grammar, please, this card gets me every time. The world is hard enough already. Already the world is hard enough. I don't think that makes sense. The world is already hard enough. The placement of words sometimes, when you say it out loud, I don't know. So there's the butterfly one. And then this one matches, so we're using this one. Love, love, love those golds. And then the back says, you are enough. And it says, do it miserably, do it happy, do it sad, do it angry, do it heartbroken, do it excited, do it energized, do it tired. I am proud of you. Sometimes, as we know, it is hard to do things, especially we don't want to do. There's a whole TikTok channel, I'm sure there's more than one, that says something like, their executive function, their decision-making process, and their brain is like shot. So brushing their teeth is like 10 steps. You know what I mean? You have to like get out of bed, perhaps put on a robe. I don't know if you sleep with clothes or not. Go to the bathroom, possibly shut the door if you have a partner. Turn on the water, make the water cold or warm enough. Get out your toothbrush, you know, rinse the toothbrush, do the toothpaste. And if you have more than one toothpaste, decide on what kind of toothpaste. Put the toothpaste on the right amount. Like there's so many steps when you break things down to a minute basis. So she was saying like, I've been putting things off. The whole channel is like, I've been putting this off for 6 months, calling my dentist or whatever. I'm using teeth analogies for some reason. Not analogies, teeth, whatever that word is. Examples. But you get it. And then she's like, I've been putting it off for 6 months. It took 4 minutes. And it's not shaming anybody because we all do it. The things we don't want to do are hard sometimes. And they don't have to like physically be hard, just mentally sometimes. Now, to use a big bag of these little hearts, almost like digital hearts, but they have like little scallops around them. I did put ribbon around that one. I was the only person worried since maybe you saw me do it, but I did it. I'm gonna guess 2 pounds. This could be 3. It is 1 pound, 12 ounces. So we round up to 2 pounds and 12 by 15 by 3, good enough. And this is $6.53. So 3 other pairs of shoes, different shoes, sold. And there's still some really good ones on there. He was a size 9, I want to say, give or take a little bit. So there were a few pairs that I put on that were just slightly too big. And I was like, these are gorgeous. But then I looked up the retail cost, not even the retail, the resale cost. And I was like, oh, I can't keep these. I can't have, you know, $400 loafers. I could, but I don't care enough about loafers. Okay, next order. Another pair of shoes. Now, she had some fun Mary Janes. 2 pairs have sold to 2 different people. These were the ones that were used. I have this exact style, so many of this exact style in different colors. A few have sold already, in perfect condition. So we are going to do the black or the whites. You are white. These are headed to Riley, and she had them all labeled. So this is like an off-white with the T-strap. Some of them have 1 strap, some of them have double strap. This one has the T-strap. And they are in the original box. Foot support. Foot support. Just realized it's foot support, but foot support. Steppets. And then I'll show you, since I'm talking about them, the other pair that sold today are the black ones with the 2 straps. These are in a different box, not their original box, because I think they came from all the same store. So you're going to take out the original tissue paper, which has yellowed. Sorry, original tissue paper, but you have done your job. Okay, we know these are the original box. Brain. Why aren't those fitting? Yeah, flip it over. A company asked, my mom gets a ton of them, but a company asked me if I wanted a free bicycle, free stationary cycle. Is it called a bicycle if it's inside? I don't know the word. And I put pair 1 because I had 2 pairs of this, like, exact style and size and colorway. One was in slightly better condition, so I really wanted to make sure. I don't know if these were in better condition or not. Okay, so these were the white. They're headed to Riley. And they're size 7. Yes, double checked. And they sold for $25-ish, and they are headed to Washington State. So a company reached out, and I had seen these stationary bikes. You don't have orange. We need to stick with, let's go with this one. Just because I have the orange ribbon right here. So a company reached out, and they reached out to me a few times, but as I was healing from bronchitis and not walking this much, I was like, oh, on the rainy days, it'd be so great to have a form of exercise equipment inside my house, so my brain thought. So they were like, there's no contracts, we just want a minute video. The bikes are so well rated. I'll insert it at some point into another video. And so I'm like, oh sure. They're like, just pick out like if you want a treadmill or an elliptical or a rowing machine or whatever else they wore this bike. And the bike retails for like $1,200, but the company has them on sale all of the time, like all of the time, for 50% off. And then sometimes they like take another $100 off. So like maybe $400, maybe more or less. So I'm like, yeah, great. So they sent it to me. Bear unboxes it because again, at this point I was not feeling great. It's a giant box. And I was like, we'll put it together. And it was so easy to put together. So easy. With one exception. My husband knows some stuff about like mechanics, and that's not big enough. Mechanics and like carpentry and bolts and nuts. So we each have our own pedal for my feet. And they're just like showing the video him like unbolting it. So I'm like, I tried to unbolt it. I'm like, huh, that doesn't work. So like immediately I have no prior knowledge of how to put things together in the correct way. I've clearly put things together before. So I'm like, oh, just the other way. Just like the shoes, just like, it takes me a second, but like the other way. But my husband, knowing how bolts work, something about a right-handed twist, and it's not supposed to be a left-handed twist. I'm sure I'm not even saying the right words. He gets the wrenches out. He's forcing the threading on this pedal. So much so that I'm like, I'm just gonna let him go after I say like, hey, you want me to try that? Twice, because I don't want to be a nag, but I'm thinking, because he tried it the other way. But he's like, I've tried it the other way. I'm like, okay. He did not try it the other way. He threaded it so tight that we could not get it out for anything. And then I was like, give me the thing. I'm like, okay. He tried it the other way, so he said, no, he did not. And then I messaged the company and they're like, can we send you another video of this process? And I was like, sure. And then we realized what needed to happen, and he needed to get his wrenches and like put it in a vise and do all of the things. But because he had prior knowledge, it did not help. They threaded it the wrong way. But this company is international. It's not just like here in the US, tiny company. It's like huge worldwide company. Okay, these are the cards we're going for. These are the cards we're going for. So he's like, that was a left-handed twist screw. I'm like, okay, don't care. But the bike looks so good sitting in my living room area. We just put it together 2 days ago, so I haven't yet tried it because yesterday was Mother's Day. My mom and I hung out most of the day. We did go to our own separate houses, separate rooms, to take naps because we were pretty exhausted. But then last night we all got together and walked. Okay, we are at just under 2 pounds. So again, 2 pounds, 12 by 12 by 3, won't matter. And they paid $9.99 for shipping. And this time it is $10 because it is going across the country. And it is not cheaper for priority. It would be slightly cheaper if I put it in a flat rate mailer. They're shoes, so that's not happening. That's about it. Okay, $10. Overall, we had a really good day. It did rain for a lot of the day. Print. The house I'm printing is this house that I took all of the consignment stuff that's off camera and some stuff back there that I've listed. So they wanted to do the foundation and the driveway and the stairs and all of the doors. And there's a lot of cut-in work because they went from a light color to a very dark color. Thank you, Riley. and cut-in work on foundations is a little rough because you're sitting on concrete or like sitting in gravel or dirt garden beds. Let's do the black shoes. And you have to wait. I mean, you have to wait until you've already seen these. Same shoes. Again with the tissue paper. Sorry, little discolored tissue paper. So you have to wait until the foundation dries out. And it is summertime in Florida. If you've never been in Florida in the summertime, Florida in the summertime is hot and muggy and humid and hot and lizardy, which I don't mind anymore outside, and fire ant season and all of the bug seasons. And then because the foundation needs to both be dry and there needs not to be rain for hours after you paint, you really need like a solid day of sunny weather. And that happened last Wednesday. And I was painting for about 5 or 6 hours until I really thought I might have, I've never had heat stroke, but you know, my brain knows about it. So I was like drinking and drinking and drinking. This is not going to match anything. I need to get, will you match? I have pink. We'll use you. Down here. So I have the keys for their house. They are trusting me and can go over and let in they're changing their appliances and all of the things. So I have the keys. And I've been going over there and doing a few projects and opening up their hurricane shutters and doing all of the things for them. In all of my free time. But last Wednesday was like major paint the house day. But after a good 6 hours of being in the sun, I was like, okay, that's enough of that, because I had reapplied sunscreen and drank all of my water, and I brought like 2 huge things of ice water. And I was just feeling a little off. And since then, I've gone over once. I was really hoping to like knock this thing out because of the weather. And tomorrow it is supposed to be nice again. And tomorrow's Tuesday, so it's almost been a full week. And I've gotten 2.5 sides done and the 3rd side cut in. But there's one last side, and it's a long side of the house. And it is not going to be easy because the air conditioning unit is on that side, the back door is on that side, so it's a lot of cutting in, So I'm guessing it's gonna be at least 4 hours. I haven't been using stickers. I'll put stickers on everybody's package on the outside. Okay. Also, I might have wrapped this upside down. That won't matter. Let's do this card and do the I am enough card. This one says, stay close to people who feel like sunshine. And on the back, it is blank. And for my mom's gift, I can't give too much information out, but it was not a thing to purchase in a store. It was essentially a craft project that nobody else might care about, but my mom has mentioned it a few times, and I heard her, and I wanted to let her know I heard her. And the other day she said it again, and I was already in the works of doing it, Mom. And I was so concerned she was just going to do the thing. And it's not like a really, it's just going to give out too much information, personal information. I don't want to do that. It's not really like just to do the thing, it takes 30 minutes. It's like do the thing, it takes hours and hours and hours over days and days and days. So like it might only be like half hour today and then like 2 hours tomorrow. Like So I was so afraid she was going to start doing the thing when I had already been doing the thing. And her husband knew. And I was like, do I tell her I'm doing the thing? Do I not tell her? And I am so bad with keeping surprises, like, especially if I have to keep them and I'm excited about it. And I knew it was a good Mother's Day gift. Like, I know my mom sometimes. These shoes heavier. Almost same shoes. Almost same shoes heavier. Shoes heavier. They're between 2 and 3 pounds. And Natalia. Tanya, I would pronounce that. How are we pronouncing this name? This is such a pretty name. The Social Security website just came out with a top 1,000 baby names for 2024. Has anybody else read these? Who is still naming their child Olivia? How is that still the top name? It's been the top name forever. Okay. Pronunciation. Natanya. Let me turn my volume up. That would help.
Pronouncenames.com.
Pronouncenames.com.
Natanya.
Natanya. That didn't sound like an English speaker. Natanya? This is a whole YouTube channel with that name. I'm not listening to a YouTube channel to pronounce your name. I'm guessing it is Natanya. I'm guessing that you also don't pronounce it like that. Anyway, you are in California. Thank you. Oh, and this is between 2 and 3, so I can just round up. I can also put the exact, but I'm rounding up because that is easiest. So you paid $4.99 for shipping? This is me being sick listing from bed. And the actual cost is not $4.99 for 3 pounds. Shocker. Oh, it's so funny. Okay, so the actual cost through ground is $11.71. I just clearly clicked the wrong button because I would have at least charged $9.99. That's clearly what I've charged for all of the other shoes. Yeah, okay. Sure me. If I only lose a couple dollars here and then, I'm clearly making a lot more than I'm losing. So my Mom's Day gift, I nailed it. I'm the best daughter. If my sister's watching, I'm the best daughter. She said the best gift ever, which I think she says that for most gifts, honestly. Not all gifts, but nobody else in the world might have appreciated this gift, truly. But it's a good gift. Good gift me. Thank you. Natanya. If it is Natanya, I've never seen this as a baby name. I know you're not watching to hear about baby names. What is the baby name ranking? Baby name ranking of Natania, because you could go like Natty, which I know means something different, but like that would be super cute. Tanny, Nia, Tanya. You could do so many things. Anne, or like Anta, or something like cutesy. Okay, it is ranked. It's about 15,000 like down. So starting with Olivia and Emma and Isabella and Sophia spelt several different times in the top 10, then like all the way down. Once you get to like 15,000, that is crazy. It was ranked 11,000 2 years ago. It is a Hebrew name, meaning God has given or gift to God. It's associated with gratitude and blessings. I love that. I've never heard that name before that my brain remembers, and I feel like I would remember that. I love baby names, or just names in general. It doesn't have to be baby names. Okay, next item. This tiny little item, it is an Anushka. My brain needed to rewire itself there. Anushka. And it has feathers. And I have a couple of different ones of these. A couple of the same print. These are all hand painted on leather. And it has like the little keychainy thing. And would be big enough for credit cards. Not a cell phone, of course. But credit cards and cash. And maybe a little lip gloss. I have extra bags that I'm going to reuse. I don't think this one's going to come off. So what we're going to do to reuse this plastic is put a card on it, just right over it. As soon as I saw this plastic bag today, I was like, oh, I am so using that. There we go. And Diane paid $28.99. So make sure she didn't, I don't remember that name. Okay. And let's put it in a little bit of bubble wrap since it is hand painted. There we go. Isn't that funny? I forgot the stickers. When I do this by myself and I don't film, it's a lot shorter of a process, obviously. Not because this stuff all happens. It's just that everybody for that day might have the same tissue paper or the same poly mailers and tissue paper and ribbon. Like everything might look identical, and I'm not speaking and narrating the entire process when you're not here. Just know that. It usually doesn't take me 5 hours to do shipping. That's all I would get done. Okay, Diane, you were in South Carolina. You were in Carolina. Shall I use the last piece of oranges? I don't have feathers. I used to have feathers. Gilson Roberts discontinued it and I didn't save any. There we go. My mom and I got together for her gift, and oh, orange. You will work piece I already cut, and then we napped, and then we ate. I had a salad, a pecan salad without the cheese. So sad, but it was really good. And my mom had, I don't know what my mom had, a burger. I think, I don't know, maybe something with bread. She said she shouldn't have had the bread. And then my husband did have a burger. Two of the same cards you've seen. So this one is an orange. This one will match. Do we have any other cards that will match this? I don't think I have any orange base cards right now. It's a shame. Oh, I have the fruit card. Hold on. I don't think I have the fruit card. I have the fruit card. That would tie in because this is oranges and that says fruit. Let's do the mango mask. And now we can break out the small tissue, the poly mailers. I don't have oranges. I do have, that would work. The blue hibiscus. That kind of works. This kind of works. I like this one. I like the striped one with the little stars. Reminds me slightly of Rainbow Bright. And then after the big nap, which I was like, there's no way I'm going to be able to nap. Oh yeah, I napped. We were all exhausted. Bear napped too. Then we all walked last night. Okay, 4 ounces. And then we came home and then it poured again. It's a good time to walk yesterday for less than an hour. Okay, my cost is $4.08. She paid $28.99. I'm sure I said that, and $5.99 for shipping. And then we got back from the walk and it was like just maybe 8 o'clock or so. And Bear and I usually shower and watch TV. That's usually our nighttime routine at some point of the night, whether that's at 8 o'clock or 10 o'clock or whatever. But we had both already showered, and I had showered twice because of the big mom project. So I was like, I think I'm just gonna go to bed. He's like, okay. I was like, there's no TV watching tonight. I am exhausted. We've been watching The Studio on Apple TV. I got Apple TV like a month or 2 ago. It's $9.99 a month, but we canceled Hulu and YouTube. But then I signed back up for YouTube so I don't have to watch ads. Thank you, Diane. So really we just canceled Hulu and we got Apple because we were running out of Hulu shows, and we don't have Netflix because it was my sister's Netflix. Now, these are Riker. I have these in black as well. I don't think the black sold. They are women's size 7, and I'm guessing they're brand new. They're 38. They look brand new. Like, they look like they have a white powder on them, but the black also have that white powder. Tissue paper, no more. Sorry, tissue paper. You're actually falling apart. Get your act together and go in the garbage. There's also catalogs in this house, in this consignment house, let's call it, from Spiegel in the 1980s. And she like had little markings on certain pages. And I was like, how fun would it be to find like something she actually ordered? But then I realized I can't just stop life and do things I want. Which would be go through every catalog and find the one item she might have marked in hopes that I might have. Anyway, so these are their Celia in the color pistachio. I kid you not, and I looked them up, and yep, pistachio just means like beige, tan, this color, neutral. There's no green. Let's do now. Here's the thing, because this person hasn't bought from me before, it is Jean. Hi, Jean. You don't know I exist. This is maybe her first and ever package she might get from me. So I can't just use like generic stripes, right? Right? I have to go, hey, where are my big bags? There we go. I have to go with something fun. I like the generic stripes. They have a metallic gold. Nope. Don't change my process. Stick with it here, brain. As you might know, last year I had a hysterectomy, full hysterectomy. So I am going through menopause, but I am now on hormones after much research, and they are helping. Are they 100% helping? No, they are not. Has enough research been done in this area of medicine? Probably not. I also wrapped those upside down. What in the world is my brain doing today? But it was getting to a point where I was mentally and physically just not great. I was like, we're gonna have to live in Alaska. Sorry, we both love the heat. It's not gonna happen with my body for 7 to 10 years of menopause if I consistently am this warm. So I've been on those now for probably about 2 months, and they are helping. Not perfectly helping, but they are helping. Okay, if this was your only package, I would want the You Are Enough card, and it's so hard. The pink matches. So does the butterflies. Let's do butterflies. Stop being so hard on yourself. The world is already hard enough. The world is already hard enough. Yes, that's what I worded it. Still not positive. Oh, I'm positive the world is hard. Just not for everybody. Let's be honest. And not even for me. It could be much worse. I am sitting in air condition. I have clothes. I have lots of things. Okay. Those are the last pair of shoes in case you are like, stop wrapping shoes. This card table is like, just stuff all over it now. Every time I pull something, it just like slides. Where are my big poly mailers? I think we're out of hearts. Not out of them. I've got 4 quadrillion of them. But I think we're going to do the thank you with the handle. Now, are these 2 or are these 3? I'm going to say 2. The stakes are not very high. They're 1.5. So we do round up. I round up to 2. You could put 1.5. Okay. And about 2 weeks ago, my husband went to the Tampa hospital. Those were $32.49. Maybe minus 20%. No way. No way. I know exactly where this person lives. Like, town, street. I have been on the street so many times in Pennsylvania. Wow, I've been past their house. I don't recognize their house. I don't think I do, at least. I'd have to go on that road. It's been probably 10 years since I've been on this road. Maybe 11 years. Wow. Okay. So there was a fun little brain detour. Shipping, she paid $9.99 because shoes, that's usually what I put in for shoes, not $4.99. And my cost is $7.67. We shall put a sticker. The sticker reads, reminder, don't be so hard on yourself. So my husband was up at the Tampa hospital, which is a hospital that we've been at quite a bit the last few years for him. And they were going to give him a nerve block, plexus lumbar block, for his mouths, which is it's like carpal tunnel, but for your upper abdomen. It's when the muscles kind of grow around the nerves and the blood flow. And he's got a kink in his celiac artery, which is one of the arteries that runs through your body. And like the upper organs aren't getting enough blood. They're getting like 50% of the blood when he has the attacks. And the attacks have been much better since his surgery, like, I don't know, a year and a half ago, somewhere in there, give or take. But not as great as like nothing. So they were like, let's try this. So we were like, okay. So he had to stay awake. He had to, the whole thing, it was under CT, but it was supposed to be outpatient, and it was outpatient, but it was supposed to be like not at the hospital. The doctor had another area, a CT place to do it. And then scheduling happened, and like, I don't know, insurance maybe? I don't know. Thank you, Jean. So then we had to go to the Tampa hospital and be there 2 hours ahead of time and not have anything to eat or drink since midnight, although this was at 2 p.m. 12. We had to be there at 12, so like whatever. So it was no anesthesia. No, he was awake the whole time. No IV medication, no anything. They did do contrast, but he should have been able to drink water. So like we get to 2 o'clock, 2 o'clock comes and goes. We're still there doing nothing. He doesn't have a room because we're just in a waiting room. We've been there since like way too early. I don't know. So he needs to stay awake. So they needed to hit a certain area. Anyway, did that help? We don't know. So we're supposed to call back in the 2 weeks, which is like tomorrow, the next day, and say if it helped or not. And it probably helped like a little bit because he's only had 2 attacks since then, and both of them were in the last couple days. So they said if it helped, he probably wouldn't have any fresh attacks until it started to wear off. And it might wear off within like a week or 2. It might take 6 months, six weeks to wear off. But if it helped, that they could then go in and do nerve ablation, which essentially would kill some of the nerves and help with the pain. Because surgery was rough. This in first. Okay. We're good. And he doesn't want to do that again. I don't want to do that again. So I'm glad he is able to do what he's doing. But it could be better. I think this is the last one I'm gonna do, and then probably go eat something. It is almost 3 p.m. And trying to think. Let's go with the disco dots. The backward disco dots. This one would have been hard to fold the wrong way because this is a very big difference here between this and this. The other ones, I'll give you that. So those are all the things that have been happening behind the scenes here and why I don't film more. This is going to be a hard thing to wrap. I don't know how my mom does it twice a week. She has more good hours a day or somehow has found a way to add more hours to her day through magic. I don't know. This is the worst way to wrap this. They'll never know. But you and I know this is not a great wrapping. And I'm just realizing I am slightly wrapping in the wrong. I should be wrapping here. Well, looks like a tennis racket. We will do the You Are Enough. Who is this headed to? This shipped for, oh, it's going to Canada, but through eBay International. $42.99, maybe minus 20%, I'm guessing. It's going to Illinois, and they paid $9.99 for shipping. You Are Enough, and can you guess? Can you guess? It is Do It Miserably. So I still have some salad left over from yesterday. Let's see. I should have folded this in half. Oh, it fits. It fits. You and I both see that that fits. I will take it. Okay. This is going to be, I would imagine, a pound right on. So silly of me. How am I going to figure that out? You do need to be like that. No, that doesn't need to be like that. Pretend that didn't happen. Okay, how much do you weigh? You weigh 13.4. You now weigh 1 pound and 12 ounces. So this is 15 ounces. Math. 15 ounces. and 12 by 15 by 4, $6.40. And I'm going to use a little bit of the red tape against the pink. Chic, red and pink chic. And I might come back in a different shirt because although I am not sweating, a sweater feels like I should not be wearing a sweater. It feels very warm. Camille. So it's really not going to Illinois. That's just where the eBay, maybe one of the eBay international ports are. Probably not ports. Illinois is landlocked. You know what I mean. Airplanes. Thank you. Put your label down here. And we will add stickers to everybody. Don't worry. Everybody's going to get a sticker. Yours says, forget the mistake, remember the lesson. And I will be back after I have done all of the things. Hydrated and gotten out of a sweater and ate a salad and potentially laid down. I am back. I had some chicken nuggets instead of my salad, and that way I could lay down. Salad in bed with like cranberries and pecans and dressing. Too messy. Too messy, I decided. Also, I pulled the hangers. I pulled the hangers to show you, but we are not going to be able to wrap them. We still might be able to on camera. Because Case ordered 2 other items, and I think, oh, now I'm doubting myself. I should cut all this out, but this is real life. No, I think we'll be able to wrap them. I think it's the person who wanted the purple set. Wanted to know if she could order. Anyway, I'll deal with that. I had the wrong person in my head. Order another item and still put it in her, and she can. So there's one yellow. So you can see the size and shape of it. And then all the rest are this kind of dark. Here, I'll put it against red. It's like a reddish brown kind of color. Can you see that? It's hard to see with the light. And they are heavy and vintage, and I think they were $100, potentially minus something. I'm not sure I have a sale on right now, but they are really gorgeous hangers. Ugh, even just one and like an eBay listing, you can like brand yourself. But the yellow one is so fun. If these would have been rainbow, I might have wanted to keep them, but thankfully they are not rainbow. Okay, next item, Land's End No Iron shirt, which is right here. It is a dark green background with this kind of like turquoisey color. Yeah, it's a greenish turquoise, and then a really dark green and like almost a navy kind of color. You could probably potentially wear this with navy pants or black pants. And then shades of purples. Really pretty. I found this, I want to say for $2 or $3. I think I was filming at the time or showed you my haul from a Methodist church thrift store that isn't too far. When I first told the story, I was like, it's right down the road. And then I tried to find it again. And I'm like, this is not right down the road. Where was I when I was trying to find this? I was meandering for a bit before I found it. It's right down the road from something that day. It's not right down the road. It's like a good 10 to 15 minutes away from me. But in my head, it was right down the road. So, purple and green. And we have red ribbon and I could probably get to the pink ribbon. I think we're gonna go for Mindy. Mindy, I don't recognize your name. Are both of these 8 pieces? I think we can use this one because we only need 3/4 of a piece. And this one has a little rip out of it, which I did with my thumb. And I'll show you the shape of the rip. It's thumb shaped. I have the air conditioner blowing right now, but I did that. Silly me. But this will match the red ribbon. And although it's only about, I don't know, 45 minutes, an hour and a half, I don't know, later, I did change my shirt. And I realized you could see my bruise, which, who knows where I got that. I haven't fallen off of my bike in a good month though, so. So we did okay with that one. I just have permanent scars on my legs, just small ones. But I have a hat. I should have had ankle pads on during the time I fell off my bike. I'm not very good at bike riding. But around here it is transportation, and I did need to go to a local meeting down the road that night, and Bear had the car, so we are going to do the You Are Enough. I feel like we just did those. Let's do, we haven't done much of the Stay Close to People Who Feel Like Sunshine cards. Eye mask. This paper is the one that looks like cake slices, and this stripe right here is metallic. I don't know if I'll be able to catch that. So it does really nicely match the card. This strip. It's got the gold in it. Okay, this one also gets to have a fun small poly mailer. You are a big poly mailer, Tricker. You're a small poly mailer. Yeah, I like that. And she paid, so I've had this one for a while, maybe a year. So I did send an offer, or took an offer. Oh, I kind of know where you live, not the street. That was crazy. I should tell my husband. He'll know that street as well. He's also been on that street. For $13.99, maybe minus the sale, I don't know. And 9 ounces, and Mindy paid $5.99 for shipping. 9 ounces. Okay, so 1 ounce, 1 by 1 by 1 inch is $4.25. 9 ounces, 1 by 1 by 1, if it was a tiny little cube of like lead for 9 ounces, is $5.49. Now let's put some dimensions in there. 12 by 12 by 3, still $5.49. 12 by 12 by 12, which is a cubic foot, still $5.49. 12 by 12 by 16, $17.92. How about 12 by 12 by 13? That makes it 1 inch bigger, $16. So if something's 12 by 12 by 12, really inexpensive. 12 by 12 by 13, oversized, crazy. So that's why I leave it set at 12 by 12 by 3, because it really doesn't matter. So shipping cost $5.49. I stickered everybody here laying on the floor. And we will do a pickup tomorrow. I could drop it off at the post office, but I don't want to. That would mean, yeah, that would mean going out on the road. I don't know why I had to think about that. I was wondering if I could get there through back roads, and I potentially could, but I don't think I could. Maybe if I flew. Next up, I don't know what else. I've got a handbag here and a necklace, but the necklace person, I think, messaged me, and then I messaged the wrong person. Oh, I just sold another order on my website. Or is this the same? No, this is the same. Never mind. This was 1 o'clock today. Okay, we are going to send a message to the person who bought this necklace, because I thought it was the person who bought the hangers. So when I went in to say, like, yeah, of course, I can just hold your, it's not a big deal. I've got 3-day shipping. Feel free to add whatever you want. And then I will, somebody is walking outside with a letter. It is my husband. Not sure what he's doing. I thought it was a different person. So absolutely, I just messaged and mentioned 2 rings. Oops, wrong person. I am happy to refund you the shipping of this item if you purchase it. Thanks. I think he's cleaning out the gutters. Okay, so what goes next? I have the purse, and I think that's the last item. I'll have to pull the other ring. So here's the purse. It sold for $108 and it retailed for $210 and was bought on sale, not by me, by somebody, $175. So I have a few of these. This one's in really, really good shape. It's brand new, but it does look like it might have been a floor model because I thought I saw dust on it. So I did put that in the listing. It just has like, I don't even know if you'll be able to see anything, like the faintest little bits of like dust, it looks like, but it doesn't rub away. So anyway, I have 2 more of these, same kind of condition issues that I'll be listing. I wanted to list 1 at a time just because the condition issues might be in slightly different spots, and anything that's truly brand new, if I had 10 of them, I just put them up, 1 listing, quantity 10. But this had specifically different issues on each bag. So I'm going to have to get a box, and maybe I'll pull those rings, and then I will be back yet again. Box. Very good. I have a lot of the same size boxes, which came in, oh, I should probably get a dust bag. The dust bags I do keep here, so that I can do on camera. But the boxes came, I mean, they just came at a perfect time for the purses. These are expensive purses. I am boxing them in the plastic with the wrapping, all of the things. I have such a good story, kind of, an eBay complaint story about one of these. So I'll tell that after I get the dust bag. But one of my neighbors was getting rid of like, I don't know, 50 of them in 2 different sizes, like 25 and 25 or whatever it was, 20 and 20, 30 and 30. And so perfect, just like free boxes, new boxes. I think this dust bag will work. I didn't list them with dust bags, but I do have some extras. So yeah, that'll work. It's not perfect, but it's better than no dust bag in my mind. So we'll package that up and put that inside. And then inside I just have, oh, I already have a dust bag. The shoulder strap and an extra paper. So do you fit better? You're bigger. We'll give you the bigger one. That was the one inside it. I should have checked. You can go over there. So I'm going to put it in plastic first and then wrap it. whilst I tell you the eBay story, I rarely get returns. I don't take returns. I haven't taken returns for a long time. eBay really wants you to take returns. I don't do it. So unless I'm screwing up, I don't get a return. It just doesn't happen. So I sold an Anushka handbag for like $250 plus shipping. So the total amount was like $270 something. Seriously. And here's how I know that. Because I have been keeping track of every single person I want to make sure the buyer's name. Every time I called eBay, every person I've spoken with, everything they've said, all of the things. So it was $276.10. So this person opens a case, they say the zipper isn't working, which is odd because I check all of that, but you never know. So I say, oh my goodness, I am so sorry. Send me back the handbag. This was, like I said, I think it was like the end of October. So I get the handbag back, and it is now almost the end of November 2024. 6 months ago. So I get the handbag back. It is not packaged. I've told you the story before, so we're going to gloss by this, but just know it is still, I still have not got my money from eBay. I'm still working on it. Absolutely ridiculous. I should have given up long ago, but it's almost $300, and it's just the point of the thing. And eBay doesn't, I'm nobody to them. I'm nobody. I don't make enough, have the right phone numbers. They don't know I exist. So it's really good to know the company. For me, I've been with eBay for a long time. And so when I tell people like, oh, you should sell on eBay, I'm not going to suggest that unless I really still believe that. So I need to know in my own brain, eBay customer service, like how easy is it to get returns? So I can pass along the information or just have it for myself. Just the customer service, no, it's gone by the wayside. Anybody who tells you like, oh, just jump on Facebook, Facebook has changed too. eBay for business still exists. You can't message them. You have to message through eBay, just the regular plain old eBay page. Then you have to go through this identification process, which isn't too hard to be fair. And then you go back and forth. And a lot of times I've just noticed they're not solving any problems. So frustrating. So I get the purse back. The zipper works fine. Her packaging, on the other hand, awful. She did not ship in a box. The outer packaging, okay-ish condition. It wasn't like it went through any kind of USPS computer system that damaged it. However, the inside of the handbag, wet. Don't know how it happened. It is missing the tags. It was brand new. It's missing the wallets, the little like mirror thing that came out of like the hand-painted matching thing, the two pouches, the strap. It's missing things. So I messaged her, and it was November 26th. So right before Thanksgiving, I got it back. Almost a full month after she opened this case. So I'm like, hey. Oh, and it's scratched. It was, she clearly used it and then wanted to return it. So she scammed me. So I'm like, hey, the zipper works fine. Where's all the rest of the stuff? What? So I call eBay immediately. You know how you have to call eBay. You have to like trick them into calling you. It's so impossible to do. I struggle with it. You have to open up like the little chat button, but it's not always there. And then like the automated assistant comes up. Seriously, is anybody else struggling to have eBay call them every time? And then sometimes I type in the word fraud, and that'll be enough to trigger it. Sometimes, because simple returns doesn't get you a phone call. You have to like trick it into giving eBay the right information, the right keyword, but the keyword seems to change every time. Like fraud used to immediately have eBay like offer, do you want a phone call? And then you could say yes. And then it's usually, you know, a couple minutes to a half hour wait for eBay to call you. Whatever, I don't care about that. Just the fact that it takes hoops to get eBay to call you about such a matter. So I call the same day I get it back, say, hey, I just sent pictures through the resolution refund system thing. Like, you could refund in full. These are the choices I had. Refund in full, didn't have a partial refund, would not have used it anyway. Message, contact the person, the buyer, or that's it. It's literally two choices. So I messaged the buyer separately through the item, through eBay, and then also using the refund open case, whatever they call it. And I attached photos. I was like, what is all of this mess? What happened here? Why didn't you use, I don't care. I wasn't expecting my tissue paper back or free things back or whatever. Of course not. It's not. I was like, but why didn't you use a box? It's like a $250 handbag. It was more. That's how much I sold it for. So it was like a $300, $400 handbag. So then she replied through eBay, I would have kept it if the zipper worked. That does not answer any of the questions. Again, a good tube. I could probably put that in there just to, we'll see. That doesn't answer anything. It didn't answer anything. So again, I wrote her and I'm like, the zipper works fine. I can't attach a video. The zipper works fine. Where's the mirror? Where's the strap? Where's the tags? Where's everything? You didn't send this back in the same condition I sent it to you. And of course I didn't get a response, which whatever. Obviously at that point I realized the zipper worked. I'm going to use this just because we've got a lot of movement. And that will fill it. It looks like that's something pretty now, but it's just packaging. So I called eBay. I told them I got it back. It's in terrible condition. They said, okay, make sure you touch photos. Call back. We can't do anything now because I don't know their reasoning, honestly. At that point, I just assumed they were going to take care of it still. So I wasn't like immediately writing down everything they said. So I know I called them. I had a phone record, a phone log. They've told me I've called them the same day I got it back. And then Thanksgiving happened, which was like the 27th or 28th. And then I called twice, November 29th. Pause. Okay. So on November 29th, I was told, okay, we need to close the case, which I knew because I had like 2 working business days or 3 working, whatever the time frame is. They told me on the 26th. They couldn't do anything about it on that day. They said the best thing to do is to make sure you send the photos and keep corresponding with her. The case is automatically going to close in her favor and we will file an appeal. That's literally what they told me. And I started writing things down at this point. File an appeal, which you will easily win. And I said, we can't do anything else. And they said, no, you literally have no other options. We can't step in at this point. Fine. Pause. Okay, so it is not completely covered in plastic. You can still see the box, but because the purse, so even if you were to dunk this into water and it would get into the cardboard, because I have giant plastic bags, but the purse is in plastic, so we're still fine. So at that point, I was like, okay, that's what we'll do. And I called them twice on November 29th when they told me that's the plan. We're going to file an appeal, let it close. We'll file an appeal. They should have just closed it in my favor, but they said they couldn't do that for some reason. This is just under 3 pounds. And we might be, I want to measure because we might be over the cubic foot. So this is 16 and a half. I'm going to put 17 by 12. We are not over a cubic foot. Actually it says 12 and it is 4 inches and that says 4. So she paid again $108 and then $9.99 to ship. And Holly is in Tennessee, so that is 2 states above me. Florida, Georgia, Tennessee should have this probably Thursday. So my cost for ground is $8.58. Wanted to see what priority is. It's $11.85. Does ground still get me insurance? Yes, still up to $100. No, I don't want to add more insurance because it's only $8. It's $108, so I'm fine. I did buy insurance on that bag that came back to me. I usually do buy insurance if it's like 140 up. Or I'm just really worried, honestly, about the thing. Like a breakable. No, because it's $100 insured already. Never mind. Skip that. I don't think I do that anymore. So, thank you so much to Holly. Hope you love your bag. Okay. For the next item, I want to tell you because I've kept such detailed. So I called the 26th twice. Called the 29th. Thanksgiving was the 27th, so that's what they wanted me to do. On the 29th, they filed the appeal. December 4th, I had heard nothing. I called again. They were going to check on the appeal. December 11th, like at this point, I'm calling like every other week almost. And this is through like the rest of life. And every time I had to like trick the system, the chat assistant, AI, into having eBay call me. So that's like, you know, a couple minutes of your life every single time. Now multiply that by like 25 phone calls. Not thrilling because it's over an hour of my time just trying to figure out the automated system calling me. Then once I got eBay on the phone, I would give them the service request number, the appeal case number, the account number, the order number, the item number. Like I have all of that written down. I will literally be calling them to my grave, I'm assuming at this point. So December 4th, December 11th, this is when they told me the appeal was denied due to my being a private seller, which is a B2C versus C2C seller. Now, if this makes no sense to you, I'm right there in the same boat. I have no idea what this information means. I wrote it down. I said, can you tell me that back so I could write this down? So they repeated it. I'm a B2C versus a C2C. I guess a C2C is like a corporate seller where it would have closed in my favor, but like there was no reason at all. I had documented proof. So anyway, I'm like, why are you telling me this? I'm so confused. Like on the phone, I'm like, okay. Sometimes they have to like get you over to a different department. So every time I called, this was at first like 30 minutes of my life. Now the phone calls usually are over an hour because you have to start out with that person calling you who doesn't, like, they're going in blind. And then I'm like, can you read the notes after I give them all the information? Can you read the notes? And then they're like, please hold because there's a gajillion notes. So December, and then we go through Christmas. December 27th, I called twice. December 29th, December 30th, because at this time, like, the appeal had failed. That's what they just said. Failed was like the official word they gave me. So they had to do a manual file at that point. So January 7th, I called after the new year. January 9th, I called, and I was told on January 8th, the manual file was denied. Again, this is like 2 weeks after the manual file, but whatever. So I was like, why did it say it was denied? Like every time I call, they're like, they looked at the case, they looked at all the information, the documents I send, the proof of whatever. Yeah. Okay. So then they had to raise it to the next department. Okay, I don't know what that means. Every single time. This is hysterical. Every single time they'll be like, you'll be sent a message through the eBay communication. You'll be sent an email. Once has it happened, and it just happened in April. So like because the email is completely shockingly wrong. Twice it happened. The first time had nothing to do with the case. second time actually did have to do with case. So then January 19th I called. It was raised January 9th. Called the 15th, 19th, 22nd, January 22nd, almost 2 months after this bag came back to me, terrible condition. Stephanie from the leadership team got off the phone. She said, "You can trust me to take it from here." Stephanie, I believe you thought you were telling me the truth. However, turns out, no, that didn't happen. So then February 10th, I called. That was my 15th time of calling. And they said, "This is a strange thing." Literal quote, "This is a strange thing. I live in Florida. I cannot record calls unless I specifically get written permission," which cannot happen. Obviously with eBay, they're not giving me written permission to call them and record them. So that would be illegal. I could be prosecuted for that. I know this from Google because I would be recording these phone calls if I lived in a state that didn't need dual consent. So this is a strange thing. They sent another appeal and an escalation to review, which was approved, but I never got the money. So they were going to look into it. Another week goes by. February 18th, I call, transferred to the returns department this time to escalate. Let me just flip this around. Then I was told, where's this? February 18th. Okay. Like literally so much that it was subject for approval based on the notes. This information transaction was pre-approved by the supervisor. So when it said it was approved, it wasn't actually approved. I was told it was approved, but what they meant to say, I found out in later phone calls, although they could just be covering themselves at this point, that the transaction was pre-approved. It wasn't actually approved. So that's why I never got the money, because it was pre-approved, whatever that means, by the supervisor. The final say from the higher ups for manual transaction was denied by an offline team. An offline team. What? Like somebody sitting in a cabin without Wi-Fi and no access to the internet? What are you even talking about, an offline team? People that work for eBay? People that freelance for eBay? I don't know what this means. Then they filed a complaint on my behalf, and the backup team to the offline team that isn't eBay? What? This is craziness. So they filed a complaint with the backup team, which will be reviewed. The specialist team then took it from there. Specialist team, I'm like writing down everything for my life here. And it was an internal process at that point, and Kevin was the person I spoke with. Okay. So now another few weeks go by. March 3rd, March 13th. Here's what they said, March 13th, because every other time I called, sometimes they didn't have information. It was still like pending in the offline cabin person's team who's offline. March 13th, for this one, upon checking, money was processed, then denied. The mistake happened on eBay's end. That's what I was told. The mistake happened on eBay's end. The previous representative failed to appear. Got the bag back, sold the bag late October, got the bag back November 26th, end of November, Thanksgiving. Now we're into March 13th. We're in spring now almost. It's like a full quarter went by. So the previous representative failed to appear. Okay, whatever. I'm also, at this point, messaging Facebook. So like every time I messaged Facebook, I also document. So that was a whole second. I'm not going to read you that whole thing. Next week, Amy from the leadership team says, quote, "I feel that this still needs to be resolved." Thank you, Amy. I agree. However, now it's 2 months later, still not resolved. Okay. And she said, it is subject request for manual correction. So they need to go in and do it manually. It will take 7 to 10 business days. At this point, I did feel hope at this point because the leadership team, not like an offline backup secondary team around the corners looking at my case, it will take 7 to 10 business days. So I called 2 weeks later, 2.5 weeks later, beginning of February. That was March 13th. So like, you know, a good 2.5 weeks later. I was told that it is still processing. Right now it is pending callback in 72 hours. I spoke with Edwin. I'm not reading everybody's names in the whole thing. And I said, and then they said, trust us. And I said, I fully believe you believe that. This is not going to happen. Trust us. Trust us for what? You guys, this is April. This is last month. This is craziness. This is 5 months almost. So I said, that's not good enough. I'm asking for a follow-up. So they gave me the SR code every time I have a different SR code. So I'm like, what SR code am I supposed to be giving you at this point? But okay. So at the end of April, I spoke with Lou, wrote down the time, blah, blah, blah. It was already filed. The manual file was already filed, 7 to 10 days. This was April 23rd. They will know by April 28th. It was escalated to a specialized team, which I guess is different from the leadership team, from the offline team, from the refund department, from all the other things I've read you. I'll make sure I don't give out the information. I still didn't get a refund. So it is escalated to a specialized team because of the case. It would take another 7 to 10 days. That was 7 to 10, I'm guessing business days. So that was the end of April. I have not called back in May because of how crazy May has been. When I call tomorrow, do we think, full 6 months almost, do we think I'm getting this return? No. No, I do not. Do I think it's a waste of my time? Yeah, I do. Will I still be doing this? Yeah, forever. I was also told by eBay, Facebook, to call my local sheriff's department. And I said, my local sheriff's department? This person does not live in my state. What would that, could you imagine me calling the local sheriff's department and saying that somebody in a completely different state bought a handbag through eBay and eBay decided to accidentally give them back the money and not process the refund like they said they would do, and that the representative forgot to appeal it or did it wrong? What in the... And then another person, like February or March, perhaps somewhere in there, again on Facebook, said to have I tried contacting the buyer and asking them to pay. And I said, first of all, how would they give me back my money? Almost $300. How are they Venmoing me? Am I just supposed to contact them through eBay? Which, it's been so many months, it's probably not even, still like, you can only contact people up to so long. Do you want me to call this woman? Do you want to give me the information? Say like, hey, you bought a handbag for me 4 months ago, 5 months ago. eBay hasn't given me back the money they said they would give me back. Can you just like write me out a personal check and send it to me? Can you just swing by a different state and give me $300 almost dollars? I said, second of all, she literally just like opened up the case and filed the wrong thing. What in the world did you think? And I had this in print because it was on, I don't know if it's still on there. I'm assuming it is. I don't know. What in the world, eBay? Okay, this next person. So, still dealing with this. It's too much money to let go, and honestly, just absolute craziness. This is going to Casey. She spells her name Kayce. So it could be Case, could also be Casey. She bought 2 rings. I would love to tell you how much those are, but it just kind of gives me the total amount here. So let's see. This one is sterling silver. Both of them are sterling silver. It's pretty heavy. Black onyx and marcasite. marcasite. And that is real. All of that is the black onyx stones. Very pretty, very easy to wear. This would even be pretty like up there, kind of. The other one does that better. And then this one is also sterling silver, size 5, $49. I don't know if she bought these on sale or whatever. This is so pretty, like up on this section of the finger. Again, I've painted my fingers. So pretty, right? It's like a spider web almost. It's like Art Deco kind of. And so she bought those. And then she bought the hangers as well. So we will put these. I'd probably combine these in the boxes, but there's only one little ring slotty section. Good taste. Sharp scissors. And then I have these kind of like cotton candy pink and blue boxes for rings and earrings. We're good. So that is my eBay story. If this was like a $10 item, this is not worth my time. Bear's even, he's shocked. He knows me better than almost anybody, if not anybody. He's like, I can't believe you're sticking with this. I'm like, it's such a pretty handbag. And I'm not reselling it at this point. Will I ever resell it flawed and without all the things? Possibly, just to collect some of my money back if this doesn't work. But like, I don't know. Just in case they need photos or whatever. I can't imagine they do because I have the originals. Utterly ridiculous. Utterly ridiculous. Okay, so those are those two. And then she bought the hangers. I'm trying to think what box would be best for the hangers. Let's wrap them up and put them in plastic. Yeah, we can finish the rings. Okay, rings first. Are we sick of the butterfly paper yet? It's so pretty. It's a new print. They might not have it next year. Plus I have a bit of orange and a bit of red ribbon left. My tissue paper is going to fly away from this air conditioner, which I now have on 73. I know the ideal temperature. I don't know if this is for like all 50 states or just like in general, no matter where you live, because they said 65, and 65 feels different in the summer than in the winter. Like 65 with your heat, to me, is different than 65 in your air conditioning, like depending on the season. I could be wrong, but it just feels differently. It's still 65. I understand it isn't. But if it's blowing cold or blowing hot and I'm hot, it feels different. I'd rather it blow cold when I'm hot, obviously, and vice versa. So we keep the house at about 74, which is pretty cold. Bear would want it warmer with our air condition year round. We rarely turn on the heat. Maybe a couple times a year we need heat. It's usually at night, but at night, those couple nights, I slept with my window open. I have screens, obviously, which was lovely because I am a warm sleeper at this point. Okay, we're just going to tie a little bit of twine. Well, I don't like how little bit that is. You're not good for anything, and I'm so sorry. So sorry. Okay, the orange will easily fit around this and make a nice bow. Now we'll grab some pink. So at night, we turn it down, I turn it down. We sleep separately, my husband and I. We've been doing this for just about ever. It started, pause. It started when he used to work overnight and I would work early in the morning. And so we were basically we were sleeping in the same bed, but at two completely different times. And we did it for probably, I don't know, anywhere from 6 months to 2 years. My mind is, it was 20 something years ago. We've been married almost 23 years. So it was at the beginning of us being married. So again, same bed, just completely different times. And I snore like crazy. She is getting a You Are Enough card. And she likes the card, she said. So I'm going to do the Stay Close to People Who Feel Like Sunshine card. And on the other one, we will do the Day You Plant the Seed is not the day you eat the fruit. And stop being so hard on yourself because it has butterflies. And the hangers will have different ones. Okay, don't lose those. So I snore crazily loud. I'm pretty sure I always have. And I try the nose strips, I try everything. I don't have sleep apnea. Bear doesn't either, which is good. Wondering, I think I'm going to put these in some plastic and then a bag and then more plastic, more bubble wrap. Bubble wrap, then a bag, then more bubble wrap in the box, depending on how big the box is. These are a heavy duty plastic, but they're still plastic, so. So because we sleep in separate bedrooms now, he can keep a space heater on in his room and the vents closed, which he does. And I can turn it down. So right now I'm at like 71, 72 at night. With my fan on, it feels nice. But what do you think? 65 too low for air conditioning? I do sleep with a down comforter, although my summer down comforter is lighter, and the down comforter has a duvet, obviously, and it's like a lightweight cotton. I need the heaviness of the duvet to help me fall asleep, but the cotton for breathability. And I've tried linen, but cotton's the best for me. Okay, now I think I'm gonna have to build another box, so pause and I'll be back. This fits so satisfyingly well into the box, so that is exciting. And I did get like aqua-ish seafoam ribbon. I have to ask my sister if she wants, I picked up puzzles at a library sale. Our library has a book sale every, I don't know, 6 months, every 3 times a year. I don't know. I've caught it twice now. And both times I did really well. This past time, if you didn't see on Instagram, what are you doing not following me on Instagram? I don't make money from Instagram. I just enjoy being part of the community. I picked up books. They usually have like fill a bag for $5 at the very end. And last year I bought books and I did really well. I still have some. And one of them, I think got like $200, and there's another one for around that same price point. That's a really rare book. So this time I picked up books, puzzles. They have like craft supplies. They have a whole bunch of stuff at the end. And one of the book, 3 of the books, it's a 3-book set, sold for like $300 something, close to $400, if not over $400. No, we didn't want to use that ribbon. You're not getting used, you're getting used. And it was headed to, it was a book set about Florida, the history of Florida. And they sold to somebody in Florida. And they were really interesting books. And they sold within like a week, possibly a week and a half. And the people already left positive feedback. And I wrapped those suckers so well. And I told them, I said, I am so sorry with how intensely hard this is going to be to get into. But like, I wrapped all the books separately, which somebody in the comments for my last book set told me. I might have done it anyway with this, but the last set was cheaper books. And I just literally didn't think to wrap them separately so they didn't rub each other. But this set I did. Now if we fold this and cut once, you get a nice satisfying point. So fold, and then the inner part of the ribbon, the non-wired, non-outside side, you go up and then go down, and it creates the point. My mom taught me that. There are the hangers. Do I need to get, no, here's more. We'll give her 2 eye masks. A gold one and a collagen one. And then the cards she didn't get. She got one of those. She got one of those. She got one of those. So many cards. We'll give her an extra You Are Enough, and then the Do It Miserably, and then an extra one. Okay, watch this. I didn't think this was gonna work. However, it works. It works so well. I'm going to wrap these. Just put those in there. Should I put plastic? Maybe I'll put these in plastic. Just because it's going in a cardboard box and not even a poly mailer. And all the snowbirds are leaving or have left. And Bear and I, and potentially my mom and Roger, will be going to the pool soon. We've been a couple times to the jacuzzi, but like Bear and I would usually swim late at night. And by that I mean like 9 o'clock, which is pretty late at night for us. Bear is still singing, not as much anymore. Still maybe once to 3 times a week at retirement communities. He still gets attacks. Like I said, he's had 2 in the last week. Despite medicine, despite doing all of the right things. This is just going to be a lot of packing. Sorry about that. Okay. So it's a little tough. Okay. Now we are going to tape the heck out of this. Now I'm going to cover this in poly mailers, but first, since we're winding down, say 4 pounds. What do you think? It's heavy. 6 pounds. just about an ounce under 6 pounds. Now she paid shipping for the hangers. It looks like she paid a lot. Oh, $15, but the $15 is showing for me. I have to go under her order details and not my order details. Different. $15, and then she paid for the rings, probably like, I don't know, somewhere between $8 to $10 for the shipping. So I have to deal with that separately. So shipping label. She is in Washington. Isn't that our second Washington? I feel like it is. So 6 pounds. And we already measured this box, and we know it is roughly 17 by 12 by 4. But just to double check, it is 16 and a half still, so 17 by 4. I'm gonna round that to 13. We're still okay. Okay, so my cost is, would it make a difference if it was 12? It would. Would it make a difference if it was 14? Oh, it would make a difference. 12 is the cutoff. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at, we'll leave it at 14. My cost is $14.78, so I nailed that one. And then I'll refund part of most of the rings. And we'll get some fun poly mailers. And then I'll show you the last set that sold. But because she is thinking about getting more items, I can't fully do that today. That's for Casey. So the last item would have been this, and I have to ask my sister if she wants, oh, I should have copied the tracking. We'll just add it manually. I won't say it aloud, just in case you can you see my keyboard? Don't look at my keyboard. I don't know how you would do this, but I imagine there would be somewhere out there that somebody, maybe the offline team, would be able to track using a tracking number, like track to the person and go to the person's house. I don't know. I'm not knowledgeable about that kind of stuff, clearly. Or most stuff. Okay, so the last item would have been this. And it is a 3-piece set of jewelry. I still have a jewelry box, a huge jewelry box that I paid $500 for because I paid $1,000 for 2 boxes that I have not even opened. I've been so busy. Okay, so it is like a purpley, light purple, it might look a little gray, but it is definitely purple. Necklace with a chain extender in silver. A purple, I hate to show you my fingers. Let's go with my back of my finger. Purple and silver ring. And then purple earrings that match the necklace. You're just gonna have to take my word for it if you can't see them through the plastic. Sorry about that. I don't think the ring was like meant to go with it, but it totally goes with it. So we will leave that over here for, let's see, it says J. Jacqueline. Okay, let's get some poly mailers and finish up this video at 5:03. We are all wrapped up with plastic. Yes, you're good. I feel good about this one. Don't break. Thank you so much, Casey. Let's schedule a pickup for tomorrow. And then we will clean up because there is craziness behind this camera. I will message my sister, see if she wants her puzzles sent. Probably have like 8 puzzles. I sent her pictures in real time. And she told me which one she wanted. She wanted the Thomas Kincaid ones. Oh, there's a picture on Instagram. Yeah, there's no dog, unfortunately. Then my life would have to stop and I would just be a dog person. Front door, pickup tomorrow. Some movie posters, I forget. I'm gonna say I've got about 8 priority mail and 8 smaller packages. They just want you to guess. Weighing probably more than 16 pounds, maybe 26 pounds. Do not have explosives. We are good to go. They will be here tomorrow. And then that, hopefully she buys more items. If not, I will package that separately off camera. And the rest of the day, it is past 5. I have some stuff to do online, which could possibly be done for bed, but probably 50% harder, so we'll see. Things to clean up. Usually we walk, and we'll see. It stopped raining, which is really, really good. And right now you can see some blue in the sky, which is always nice. When you look up, you see a palm tree and then blue sky and some other trees. Sorry, trees, you're not as good as palm trees. For the planet, I'm sure you are. I'm sure you're better. But for my life, my view, it's nice to see a palm tree and my wicker lamp that I almost never have on. Do you want to see behind the camera? Let me hide this document, which nobody would even care about. It's my volunteer work. There it is. My card table of craziness. And then that camera ring light was on because it was dark. Pile. And then that usually, well, that's for sale, but it usually sits here. I didn't want the flowers in the background. And then this is the stuff, some of the stuff. This needs to be listed tonight. I thought I was going to do that from the doctor's office the other night, but it didn't happen. This is a Coach purse, but that has some issues, and a magazine stand, kind of. I think you've seen a lot of this stuff on my mom's channel. Some really cool, like, blouses. Some made in Iceland sweaters with real horn buttons. A lot of Christian Dior. This one's like a color block one with a little Dior. You know, if you're cosplaying Minnie Mouse in the 1980s. Sarah Beth with like a mint kind of color, satin, which I'm sure it's probably polyester, but it has some really pretty appliques and buttons. Vintage Levi's, not big E, but it does have some condition issues, just a little bit. Like a jean jacket, but a tan jean jacket. Then a whole bunch of Pendleton pants, and I think they're all size 14. I think they're all lined, all wool. So I might let some of these up. I have like a teal and blue and tan, dark blue, tan, light blue, more blue. These are linen. Are these Pendleton linen? These are Tracy. Well, whoever that is. It's hard to read through the camera. I think these are back to Pendleton. No, these are Jones Country. And are we back to Pendleton? Pendleton, but older label. I think these four are all the newer label. Then we have this, which we found the label, my mom and I, and we looked it up, and it is worth some money. My mom should have taken it. Claire, we're going to pretend I don't have paint on my fingers still. Claire Sandra by Lucy Finn. And it is in perfect condition. A few of the Lance of Salzburg that my mom noticed had condition issues, but I'll lot them up. They should still be saleable. And yes, I did say saleable. I just really like how cheery this is. I don't think I'll keep it. I don't know if it's pretty cropped, but oh, if I was at a different season of my life, this would have been mine. An adorable Hush Puppies tutu. What size was this? 18 month. Little like hat. I'm guessing this is kind of vintage. I don't know. More very itchy sweaters. That one's also made in Iceland. Something of Iceland. Alafoss of Iceland. I don't know. It has pockets. It's very itchy and very warm. Then we have another. This one's hand. This one feels so nice. It is heavy. The buttons are so pretty. They traveled a lot. So this is hardly itchy, whatever this is, because it's fuzzy, but this is a little bit itchier. This is itchy. This is wool. This is weirdly not itchy. I mean, it's like, seriously, how is that even remotely possible? It almost feels cold. I don't know. Then another, this doesn't feel as hand knit. Could be, but the material feels a little bit more like acrylic blend. And then this one is wool. Stanley Blacker, which I think is an all men's brand. All men's, all. But they took up the sleeves in like kind of a cool way. So it has like a cuff thing. Then a whole bunch of belts. I'm over belts. You want to see what's on the other side? Okay, Melissa, we'll see what's on the other side. If you don't, you can stop the video. I have a two-piece set from Regatta Sport. Ooh, shorts and a shirt. This side's packed. Then a Pendleton top that is new with tags, a t-shirt, a size small. I'm guessing this, I might just keep that. And a pair of polo socks that look new but had a little stain, I realized. So we might just keep those or donate them. An Izod shirt. These items like weren't great. So I'm not sure of what to do with those. But Christian Dior. There's a whole bunch of Christian Dior. There's some like vintage men's bathing stuff. I don't remember why I kept this. I thought the print was cool. Looking at it now, it's kind of like a hospital curtain, which I don't mind. This one is bright yellow stripes. Kind of stripes. In the camera, it looks like plaid. In real life, it's more stripy. Another Christian Dior, another Christian Dior, more Christian Dior, Christian Dior, Christian Dior. You get the idea. Vintage Arrow Scrambler knit. It's like an optical illusion. Pendleton. Boring. Liz Claiborne, Lambswool, Angora. Oh, that's very itchy. Christian Dior. Another Lance of Salzburg. This is Mary McFadden. It is so pretty. I don't know if we're going to be able to tell how pretty this is. I have to hang this somewhere. Where can I hang this? If you come in at night, it's going to look like a ghost is here. This is stunning. Is that lotuses? I don't know. It's got like little almost bows, half bows. So pretty. Then a robe or something. This has a tag. This has, that fell off of eBay. Little wrap, Givenchy yellow. They really liked yellow. Francis Brewster, itchy stuff. I'm bending over. I can't remember. There's something with a V. You get it. More stuff. More stuff that may or may not be worth money. Some Bloomingdale's, like vintage stuff that says Bloomies on it, which was so cute. So that is the end of this video. Let's turn off my ring light so I can see. And thank you for watching. Bye.